Hey guys, it's Zeno. We're back again for another video, and today we're going to be doing another Ranked and Explained. Today we're going to be ranking every single card park card in Anime Card Clash. And again, I'm with my boy Nino, so hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's just jump right in.
All right. So we'll try and keep them a little bit short for the ones that aren't really that crazy. I don't know that there's really too much to talk about on a lot of them, but opening up, we can talk about the Demon Slayers. The first card is Bamboo Demon, which is Netero. So her ability is Demon Art Exploding Pact, scatters blood on the floor, which explodes after 2 turns, dealing 20% of the opponent's maximum health. I don't think I have to explain why that's literally garbage, because it takes 2 turns to happen, and it's 20% of their health. It's just not like at what point is that ever going to be useful to you?
Yeah.
So it's just not really all that great. Even at a secret, we'll just talk about stats for this card pack, and they're all going to be about in this range. Like 11k damage, 11k health, and like 6k damage is, you know, at secret. Yeah,
It's
really
absolute. Yeah, it's trash.
So Peaceful Swordsman, we've got Tanjiro. I really wish they could have done him better. I think they could give him an awakened card, you know, and really buff him up and make him a little bit cooler. But he has an okay ability. Water Exhalation, after attacking, has a 60% chance to unleash 5 more attacks that deal 10% damage each. That's, you know, a multi-hit, especially at 60%, it's not bad. At secret, and just so you're aware, it's like 50, is it 50 bill? Yeah, it's 50 bill for this secret, so it's not too steep to get, and you can draw a lot of them and turn them into a secret too, because the other versions of this card are super low rarity. But regardless, about 9k damage, 17, 18k health. Like, for a beginner, if you were able to pull a bunch of these, it'd be pretty decent. But the skill, like, he doesn't have great stats. His highest damage output that he can do is still not great. But a multi-hit is always going to be decent. So he wouldn't be shit tier. I would put him at C.
Yeah, I would see
Maybe
myself.
not. I actually meant to say D. I was going to say I could see him being C, but either one to me is fine. I think that as we explore some of these other cards, he could probably move up or down depending.
Yeah, but I have him at C, like you said, just as a result of the multi-hit. I think that's almost always viable as long as you can get it off. So that's why I said C for me. I'll put him at C.
All right. So next is the base Muzan, Pale Demon Lord. Blood Curse marks an opponent when they enter the field. Each enemy increases this card's damage. What? Each opponent enemy increases this card's damage by 20%. Okay, so I think this card text was changed originally, because I swear that the original text was much more clear. I'm pretty sure what it was before, and what it probably still does, is that when he kills a card,
yeah, it increases by 20%.
It increases by 20%. It was like he had to kill every enemy that he killed that was marked, 20% increase. So it's not terrible. I mean, but like, are you really expecting a card like this to start mowing through? And then if he's not really doing a lot. It's okay if he pops off. We'll just look at his secret stats real quick. 25k health, about 12k damage. It's okay. And really, it's to me, it's very mid, because his ability requires him to kill people with nothing else on the text. So he doesn't have anything to help him kill people. He just has to kill them. So with the requirement being actually defeating your opponent, I think it's a D tier. I don't think that he doesn't have enough momentum to get himself started.
Yeah, he's at CD for me, because I mean, if he can kill at least 2, that brings his damage up to 40%, but chances are he's not going to get past the first unit, really, because no one's running this card, if we're being honest. So D is a fair placement.
Yeah, just as a minor note for him, I think that for cards like this, the devs should consider the idea that, like, he needs a little bit more momentum to get himself started if he's going to be viable.
Yeah.
And you could make the argument like, oh, well then, you know, support him with your other cards. Well, the issue is I have a million other cards who can do 10 times better than what he does.
Exactly. It's like, why support him when I can support a card that's already better than he is? It doesn't make sense.
He just needs a little bit of a self-start, and I think that he would be a much better card. All right, so moving on to, I believe this is Kokushibo. This is base Kokushibo, which is Six-Eyed Slayer. Moon Breathing has a 25% chance of marking an enemy after landing an attack, reducing their attack by 75% for 2 turns. So outside of everything, I have looked at this card multiple times. I think it's a phenomenal ability, because regardless of whatever his stats are, it's still pretty significant. 75% reduction for 2 turns is pretty good. If he manages to reduce and then die,
Yeah,
and then
that's
your next
if
card
though.
kills.
If.
Yeah, there are ifs, of course, but this has to do with like stopping a boost in its tracks. Not really the most viable way of going about it, but in my eyes, the skill on its own is really good. A 75% reduction in attack. It reminds me of a later card we'll talk about, which is the Goliath, which is also very good. So we'll look at his secret stats just to kind of have an idea. And so 32k, 33k health, and about 17k damage. He is a really good mid-tier card, I feel. Like if you were able to get him secret mid-tier card, I think it would be pretty worth your time. Now, is that viable? A lot more than the other card packs because this is the lowest rarity. At
Yeah.
350k for a base, you can stack them up and merge into a secret, not
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah.
pull it outright. So I think, in my opinion, I think his ability is really potent. I think he's a great mid-tier card, and I feel pretty okay about the idea that he would have a place somewhere down the line for certain content. But at the end of the day, it's more self-serving than it is helping your team. So I wouldn't probably put him higher than either C and maybe even B tier. But because we don't really see usage and don't see where he could be used currently, I wouldn't say. I would say C.
Yeah, I have him at C. I think I had him at C for just because of like the 25. Was it 25% chance? Yeah, 25. I feel like I have cards with like 50. I guess probably my luck just sucks and it still doesn't work. So
Yeah, and I understand that 25% is a bit low.
Yeah, it's 1 in 4 maybe.
I think that in situations like this, the devs should consider a higher percent for cards that their maximum tier of damage is some of the lowest in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
So last one of this card set is Frost Demon. Actually, I need to make sure. Some of these card packs are weird. There's like an extra card that's its base rarity is higher than one of the golds. But no, this is the last one. So Frost Demon, not the. This is gonna be. Oh, I want to remember his name so bad. He's a little fruity, zesty guy.
Fruity, zesty guy.
Yeah. What is? Dang it, dude. I'm not gonna be able to remember. It'll come to me later. It's gonna piss me off. But all right. So Frost Demon. Oh, Doma. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Right, so
Okay, I see
Ice
what you
Bloom.
mean.
Yep. So Ice Bloom. After the first successful attack, plant a seed which grows after 1 turn and freezes the opponent for 2 turns. So this is pretty much Netsuko as well. Like the reason why I hate and don't think Netsuko's ability is good is because it takes 2 turns, and then it's like when is this? When are you gonna see this actually help you, and when can you strategize around it? And the likelihood is
no,
you're not. And a freeze for 2 turns is pretty significant, I guess, but that's really just their turn for attack and your turn. A 1-turn freeze actually is not like, oh, I can't attack for 2 turns, because the way that they changed the coding in the quality of life update. So it unfortunately doesn't make the cards stay frozen for 2 of their attacks. It's really just 2 actual turns, which is your attack, their attack. So,
which they should fix, in my opinion, honestly, because
absolutely
it doesn't make sense.
It ruins a lot of the logic in the game, and a lot of people, I think it leaves a lot of people confused, because you see, like there's other cards that do it. You see something that says stun for 2 turns or blah 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 for 2 turns or 3 turns or whatever, and then they're out of it after 1 round of their own attack. And you're like, why is that happening? Well, that's why. It's because your attack counts as a turn, their attack counts as a turn. Doesn't need to be that way. Regardless, I don't think that his ability is really all that good, only because, like, again, setup, the only reason why I would consider it being higher than like shit tier is because it's a freeze for 2 turns. That will happen. So I would say, D tier.
Yeah,
because you can.
I'm in between D and shit, because the ability is not terrible, but it's not really viable either.
Yeah, his secret stats are good, but at the end of the day, like, it's a one-time thing. The biggest thing for me, the reason why I wouldn't say shit, is because it is a guaranteed freeze so long as that enemy does not die.
Yeah.
After the 1 turn. So, all right. So that concludes the Demon Slayers pack. I feel like they could have definitely had a lot more cards in there, but
they probably will at some point add some more, I think.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see like a hard mode version of Naruto in the next of the story in the next update, in the 3.0.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that they're gonna revisit some of the other places too. So I think they will probably see like a Demon Slayer 2.0.
Yeah, I think we're getting hard mode for every story though.
That'd be great.
Actually got some leaks and we have some shit coming, bro.
I think I saw one of the things that you showed in a video, and I saw it on my own. It's like Nietzsche said that hard mode for story, if you can beat it, will be rewarding.
Yeah, and
So
it's more than just hard mode too. We're getting like a few difficulties for each. So like normal, hard, extreme.
oh, cool.
Yeah, bro.
Interesting. I like that. Cool. All right. Well, so we'll move on to the Pirate Warrior
Pirate, yeah.
pack. We've got Zoro, which is Lost Hunter, 3 sword style. When attacking an opponent, have a 30% chance to attack twice. So you kind of have to go and see what his secret stats are here, because there's not, like, this is strictly a, if my damage is good, then my ability would be good. And unfortunately, it's not. So his
Yeah.
max health is 18k and his damage is 9k. So he could hit for about 18k damage at a 30% rate. It's a good mid-tier card, but again, it's just not, it's just not gonna
It's
be
not
something
crazy.
that you're
Yeah.
you're probably not gonna find it. It's a multi-hit at 30%. It's okay. It would be, to me, it's like C. It's max C tier. I could even
Yeah, but
say
in
it could
D.
probably, yeah, I could see it being D
I
tier.
I think the one difference is like you're looking at them at secret. I'm looking at them just base. So our opinion might vary a bit.
Yeah. The only reason why I'm doing these early ones at secret is because I feel like Demon Slayer's Pirate and just like no, I would not say Galaxy Defenders. Just Demon Slayers and Pirate Warrior, you have a much more viable possibility of getting these at secret.
Yeah, because you can
Because
combine
you
them.
can pull, yeah, you can combine them. So I've seen someone with Secret Shanks, and I don't know how he got it, if he combined it or if he pulled it naturally, but their pull rate isn't atrocious.
Yeah.
So, all right. So next one is Straw Hat. We've got Jet Pistol. Reduce the opponent's health by 15% at the start of this card's turn. Honestly, I like the ability. It's essentially a, I'm gonna hurt you, and then also I'm gonna start reducing your health for free. And yeah, for cards that have a lot of health, it's gonna help. But like in a vacuum, really all it is like it's just a little bit off the top. You're just shaving a little bit off the top. So if we look at we're gonna just do it for the remainder of this pack. We look at Secret, it's 15k damage and 30k health, a good mid-tier card. But we don't. I think that we have other cards like Flame Deity that are going to do similar things for like single enemy content. So he could be a useful card maybe in the future, but for now he's just not really doing too much, I think. So I would probably put him at like C tier.
I have him in the middle. So you don't think he would be a B?
No, I don't. I definitely don't think he would be a B.
Okay, I'm gonna put him top C though.
Yeah, because you can get Flame Deity, because there's other burns, and like using Flock's Cloak and Awaken Promised Child, and that's easy enough to get. He just isn't gonna compete with those things.
Fair.
Okay, so Sun Deity. This is an interesting card, but unfortunately I don't like this kind of RNG. At least not in this way. When I look at the Awakened version, fantastic. But this, not so much. So this is just another Luffy card. I'm surprised that we have 3, but Boundless Freedom, attacks randomly deal 60 to 150% damage. So again, same thing with Zoro. We look at what their secret stats are. It's like, 19k, 18k damage. They're about almost 40k health. It's not too bad. But he's gonna sometimes deal less than his max, which sucks. And then sometimes he's gonna do up to 50% extra damage. There's cards that gain 50% damage just from entering the field.
Yeah.
Some gain it from dying. It's in a vacuum, he's just not doing anything terrific. And the fact that you have a 40 of being less than your max.
Yeah, 40% discrepancy.
I think that honestly, I wouldn't put him any bit past. I don't even know if I want him in C tier. It's because there's a detriment to the card and it's almost half. I would almost say shit tier.
Yeah, shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
I have it at.
about.
Don't get me wrong. I have it at D, which is not that different from shit, because you're looking at the negative, whereas there's also a positive. Because you're looking at the 40% down, whereas you can go 50% up.
Yeah, but you got to think about it this way. There's other cards that we've talked about in like the previous tier list and this one where it's like when a percent is so low, like we'll say Kokushibo for instance, like a 25% chance, and we're like, he could be so much better. We would rank him higher if his percent
Fair,
maybe
okay,
was
fair
higher.
argument. Yeah, okay. I'm
It's
gonna
like
just
40% of this.
yeah,
Yeah, is
40%
going to
is a
be,
lot.
and not only
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how it calculates either. So I can't really speak on it, but I can at least say that if we were to just say from it has an integer of 60 and then 61, 62, 63 all the way up to 150,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of room to not even do 150. Like you're not quite going to hit the max. You might hit 101%. So it's just, in my eyes, it's just not really anything. One, you can rely on, and two, it's just not too good. But I don't mind D tier. I don't. I'm just saying I would consider the idea of shit tier just because it has such a negative drawback and not a good enough positive.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely, you were looking at the negatives only, and I think I was looking at only the positives, but you make sense.
I think that Awakened Sun Deity really highlights what the issue with this card is.
Yeah.
Because the Awakened version shows it's like the drawback is way less and the increase is
way
massive.
more. Yeah, way more.
So yeah. We'll move on from him though and go to Shanks, which is honestly one of my favorite cards from card packs that I think gets slept on a lot. Especially amazing. I think that when we see ranked, we might see a lot more of him. But Red Emperor, Conqueror's Hockey, on entry reducing the entire opposing party's damage by 20%. So I saw this card a lot in the tournament, and 20% surprisingly isn't really that significant. But when you're talking about, like, let's say that you're fighting an enemy who has like 100k damage, you're shaving off 20k of that damage immediately. And it's not just him, it's the entire enemy party. So this is a swing that can really help the game go in your favor if you're relatively equal to your opponent. I love the ability. There's really not anything else like it. To shave off 20% from the entire enemy party, and not only that, I think the number is very fair. Would I want to see 25? Yeah, I think he could rock 25 without being a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
where it's at now,
20% of the entire team, I still think is crazy. The only thing I don't know though is, does it last even if he's dead, or does it only count if he's alive?
No, it's even if he's dead.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
Yeah. So personally, I think A is great, especially because we haven't delved into any other cards.
Yeah.
But I love the ability, and it's one of those ones that I'm like, my consideration for S plus, we've discussed it before, is it changes the game in some kind of way. He would not be too bad of a candidate there. Yeah. But just because of the nature of that ability is very strong. He has pretty decent stats, secret.
Again, in my defense, I'm looking at them at only basic. If we are to look at the secret version, I think he's S plus for sure.
I got you.
So if you want to rank it higher because of the secret rarity, that's fine too. No, like at base A okay. Is fine.
Yeah, I think that as long as someone's watching the video, they'll understand that. Like, I think A is perfectly fine, but the consideration for S plus, the reason for that is just what I would want people to know. All right, so we can move on to the Galaxy Defenders pack. I feel like these are a lot of not noteworthy cards.
Yeah,
they do
they're
silly things.
I'm gonna be honest, I think they're terrible, but
yeah,
let's go.
I think the last two aren't. They have potential to be
a lot Destroyer better. Deity and Divine Guide. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. So Prideful Prince, we've got Vegeta, Final Flash. Each attack has a 20% chance to pierce through the enemy, dealing 50% damage to the next party member in line. So 20% chance to pierce. You got cards like Ice Elf, which like every other attack.
Yeah.
Which you could say is a 50% chance if you want to, but it's a guaranteed every other attack you're going to be hitting the next person. And we have like DEA, who brings all the spears down on the entire party. 20% chance for 50% damage to the next person. It's really just okay. And it's at a 20% rate. I'm not going to rely on it.
And I don't know when I'm probably never going to get it to work.
Yeah. And I don't know what party slot I would ever, even at secret, even if I was like the luckiest man in the world, I got the secret Prideful Prince. Where would he fit in my deck building? Probably nowhere. I could find a card that I can rely on better. There's nothing he's doing right now that is worth my time. So I wouldn't say it's shit, but I definitely don't think it's anything better than maybe D or C. But D is definitely where I think it belongs.
Yeah, D. I agree. Top D.
So we've got the first of the Goku cards, Earth's Strongest, which is Kamehameha Wave. Charge up for 1 turn, then release a blast, which does 2 times damage. The good thing is that this card does not just sit there and charge for a turn, which is usually the case when you read an ability like this in any game or in any competitive scene. It's like when it says charge, you don't
You're
do
not
anything.
doing
You
anything,
just sit
yeah.
there. But he doesn't. He does get to attack, and then he shoots off his blast. This is okay. This is, you basically do 2 times damage 1 time after you enter. It's okay. It's a pretty decent damage. I'm gonna pick other cards over him, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad of an ability. It basically says next turn you're gonna hit for double damage, and you just know that you will.
It's
do that 1
guaranteed
time.
too, so.
Yeah, I would say C tier. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's
I
just
agree.
okay. All right, so next is I think this is base form Frieza. I don't know if this is like, yeah, I think this is base form Frieza. So Galactic Tyrant, Death Strike. On entry, this card has a 30% chance to strike and deal 30% of the opponent's maximum health to their active card. Not awful. At 30% rate, I think that's silly. So that means 70% of the time, this card's going to come out and not have an ability at all.
Yeah.
It's going to come out and do nothing. 30% of the time, you're going to shave off 30% of their health. When I take everything else off the card and see 30% of the opponent's max health to their active card, I would say, that sounds awesome. 30% rate?
Terrible.
No,
Yeah,
it's
no.
not. It would be at the bottom of C tier. If it's there, it would be somewhere in the middle of D tier if it's there. I can't say it's shit because it's okay.
I have it top D, so I think that's
Top
fair.
D?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. All right. This is a card that I wanted to be so much better than it is. And I think it could. I think that if it was like 25%, this would be really good. But Destroyer Deity, which is Beerus. Destruction Sphere. After attacking, execute enemies below 15% health with an explosion. Now, this, I don't know because I haven't tested it, and I don't think anyone's probably tested it. If this card just kills you and doesn't let your ability go off, like a revive, that's good. That it should be that way. I would not expect it to be any other way. So like he comes in on Aaron and then attacks Aaron while he's below 15%, and it just straight up kills him and no revive. I would say that would be fantastic, and it should be that
It's
way
fair
it says
too, because he's a
execute.
destroyer god, bro.
Yes, it makes thematic sense, and it says execute, which to me executes are very. You don't say the word execute unless you mean it.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I
the
want to try this out.
downside is 15% is just not good enough.
Yeah.
The only time you're gonna probably be attacking someone at 15% health is if they used Slayer Mark, and then at that point, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's just
Dead anyway.
a normal attack. Yeah, a normal attack would have killed them. With an ability cancel, because of the execute portion, it's slightly better than a normal attack. It's just not enough. If this was 25%, I don't even know. I would want it to be 25%, and I would actually have a fair assessment of the ability.
Yeah.
Because even at 25%, are you ever gonna land an attack in that window?
Yeah,
I just don't know.
I mean, at 25%, I think it could be high A because it would rival Truckun. It's like having the support card in the attack card, and that would be amazing. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I could, if it was 25%, I could see it A. But at 15%, we're gonna assume it does the execute way that I'm saying it might do. Even with that, best I could possibly give it is low C tier. It's probably D tier.
Yeah, I have it at C. I'll do C.
Okay.
What are we better than?
I feel like people watching the video would possibly even be like, I don't agree with that ranking. It needs to be shit tier.
At C?
I could see it at 15%. It's like, remember what I was saying about Frieza? It's like 30%. There's a 70% chance he doesn't even have an ability. This card essentially doesn't have an ability unless he attacks you at lower than 15% health. He's just
a basic card. That's true.
So I could see people saying that he belongs in D tier.
We'll put him in D. Base D.
I wish it was. I want him to be so much better.
Yeah, it looks
All
so
right,
cool.
So the next one's pretty niche for other reasons and niche for his primary reason. So Divine Guide, which is Whis, Heavenly Blessing, boosts all allies' maximum health by 15% on the battle start. That's just okay. That's pretty decent. But his main purpose is to act as the red pilot for Lord of Eminence.
Yes.
And if there are ever any other cards that rely heavily on health,
HP,
he will be that as well.
Which I think
So,
are coming too. So right now.
yeah, there's. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I feel like there was like a theory craft that I had with certain cards where like him being at the bottom actually was very beneficial. Can't say for sure though. So, but either way, this is just an okay. This is like very mid tier. He's not doing anything crazy himself. He's an enabler, and he's really only enabling like one card.
Yeah, he's not
right
really
now.
viable right now.
So it would be either top of C or maybe even B tier.
Yeah, I think that works. I have him.
I
have him mid C though, but we can do
Yeah.
top C.
The type of ability that is a consideration for like S plus tier, but it's just not strong enough, and he doesn't have enough things that he's actually helping.
Yeah, I think if we had more cards that used them, it would be more viable for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so now we get into where the cards start getting a bit more powerful. So when you start getting higher, borders, and people are using these card packs because they have good cards in them,
yeah,
you are more likely to see people with higher borders, natural pulls more than what's the word? Than merges.
Crafted, yeah.
So Shaw, I don't remember this. It's like I saw this meme the other day. It was like, all right, I'll let you live. Like a guy's holding a gun to your head. It's like, I'll let you live. Name 3 characters from solo leveling. And it's just like he's gonna die. He can't name any characters from solo leveling.
They're like Jinwoo, Miru.
Yeah, see, I would use the summon names. If he told me
exactly.
use the summon names,
yeah.
I'm done for. I could say Tank, Tusk, Ingress, and we're good, right? But if he's like, no, they have to be human beings.
Yeah. I'm
done.
dead.
So, all right. So we've got Light Saintus. I'm not even gonna try to remember their names if I don't know them. So Light Speed, dodge the first enemy attack and counter attack for this card's damage and stun the opponent for 1 turn. So this ability is phenomenal. This is a fantastic 1v1 card. If there was any 1v1 card I wanted more than anything, it would be this. It's
absolutely.
Like, the only thing better I can think of is like the Awakened Shadow Monarch, which is like the quest gem.
Yeah.
He has a fantastic ability too, but she is probably one of the best, if not the best, duelist potential of almost any card. So fantastic ability. Her base stats on basic aren't that great, but we know that we're probably going to be looking more at like golds, possibly rainbow later down the line, right? Her what's damage ceiling is up there with all the other cards. So she's very good. I would put her in either S tier. I would definitely put her in S tier.
Yeah, she's in. Nah, I was gonna say anything below that, we're gonna fight. But S.
No, she's S tier for sure. It's a shame that Hunter x Hunter pack has DEA in it, because I would be sitting on Manuel
on this. Yeah, same. I just want to get a secret DEA, and then I'm gonna go back to Hunter.
They did a very good job with a lot of the abilities in this one. So, all right. So next up is the Goliath, Overwhelming Violence. Before this card's first attack against any opponent, if the opponent's card rarity is equal or lower than this card's rarity, they receive a 50% stat debuff for 3 turns. So this is the one card I feel like you can't not talk about Secret. It doesn't matter if it was like 1 trillion billion rarity, because his ability is dependent on rarity. But this is, in my opinion, probably the best. When I first saw this card, I honestly, like, when I first started playing, like, my first impression was this is the best card in the game.
It is.
Because at Secret, if you were to get it Secret, your opponent will basically be almost always
weaker than you. He's got, bro. This is, I mean, I know we just spoke about Light Saintus being an amazing 1v1. This guy at Secret,
I mean, he's beating her ass.
Exactly.
He's gonna beat her ass.
Exactly.
In my opinion, this is like SS plus.
Yeah.
This is like the best card from all the card packs outside of Secret DEA, who can kill him before he gets on the field, right?
Absolutely.
The other thing to note is it says 50% stat debuff for 3 turns. It didn't say attack debuff. It says stat debuff. That's 50% of your health gone.
Yeah.
This dude's insane. get a secret version of this guy, and if as long as you have like Shinobi sells first slot, as long as your ability's not being canceled, they're toast. They're cooked.
And honestly, chances are if you have him at Rainbow, you're probably gonna win most 1v1s anyway. Because I mean, to be fair, I don't have any secrets that are viable. But if you're up against a Rainbow, you're probably gonna win too. So
yep. So fantastic ability. He's pretty much only beaten by cards who are rarer than him.
Yeah.
So that's insane. It's straight up insane. Yeah, in my opinion, he's S+. Oh yeah, you got him there, perfect. All right, so next is Shadow Bear, tank. Whenever this card is attempted to be stunned or have its skill disabled, cancel the effect and gain a charge for 15% more damage and health per charge, up to 3 charges. So on paper, this is a phenomenal ability.
Yeah.
It basically says you can't cancel my ability, and if you try to, I'm gonna get stronger. This is really good. The only downside is that he doesn't have an ability if none of those things happen. In my opinion, this is a counter meta card. We don't have competitive meta yet.
Yeah.
But if there is, this card is really good to have, because if let's just say, for instance, they did not nerf Pain, right?
They are going to, by the way.
Which they are, yes, I am aware. But we're just for the sake of argument, if they weren't going to nerf Pain, and that was meta in ranked, this is one of the few cards that's like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah. Sky King too, by the way.
Yes, of course, Sky King, yes. In fact, I think they made him specifically to be the Pain counter, and people were just like, this is obviously not enough. And you still need to nerf him. So, but yeah, Shadow Bear, very good. I love the ability, but it's definitely going to be more of a competitive card, because you don't get to choose what your opponent's doing. But if the meta is saying, hey, there's a lot of disables, there's a lot of this is very popular, then this is a great anti-meta card. So in my eyes, in the future, probably S+. For now, it's like A tier.
Yeah, I have it at S. Well, I have it at low S, A. But we can do A for sure.
Yep. The only reason why I wouldn't put him in S is just because if nothing happens, he doesn't have.
He doesn't do, yeah.
So, all right, we'll go to Igris, which is Shadow Commander. Commander Strength, have a 50% chance to reduce incoming damage by 40% every turn. This card gains 50% stat boost if partied with Awakened Shadow Monarch. So this is all around a good card anyway, because despite not having an offensive ability, half the time taking 40% reduced damage is good, and you can give him, like, what's the card that I'm thinking of, like Shadow Duelist or Heart of the Cards. Heart of the Cards, I think. Let's look at those supports real quick. You can give him Heart of the Cards, you can give him Slime Coat, you can give him Mech Contract, which is honestly very fantastic. He's one of the few cards who says, I actually would prefer to have extra damage reduction, because he gets to a point where you're just not going to hurt him. But he is a card I think that pairs good with other cards specifically. So obviously Awakened Shadow Monarch, he's going to get 50% boost, which is really good. Also Healing Fist, because Healing Fist, if he's taking hardly any damage because of his ability and his what did I was saying, like Met Contract and all that stuff, he's probably going to out heal it. He's one of the few cards who will probably out heal the damage that you're doing to him.
Yeah.
And there are not many cards, if any, that can do that. Chain User in some situations can do it, but not super consistently. This guy, I think that has that potential. I like it. It's very hard to assess. I would say that just on his own, I would put him at either high B or A tier. And then paired with Shadow Monarch. Yeah, paired with Shadow Monarch, I wouldn't necessarily say S tier. It's hard to say, but he would be like top of A tier.
Yeah, I agree completely. So.
All right. Well, perfect. Well, next is Beru, which is, in my opinion, one of my favorite cards. One, because I loved Beru in the anime, which is crazy, because like he got bodied super fast. It was very cool. But great design, but his ability is why I love him the most. And I don't think people understand just how strong this ability is. So, Shadow Ant, Scree, on entry, do 75% of this card's max health as damage. This card gains a 50% stat boost if partied with Awakened Shadow Monarch. So outside of being paired with Shadow Monarch, this dude is essentially, if you have a disparity of at least 25%, like your health is like 25% less than what his max health is, kind of a situation.
Yeah.
He's killing you. He comes out and he kills you. You just die. And If not, you're severely crippled. Another reason why this is really strong is because it's on entry. Meaning, if let's say that you led with Shadow Ant, let's say that he came out first. If you in the current meta, or even in the new meta when they nerf Pain, if Pain or Awakened Frost Demon or Big Mom, if you were to send them out, if you're first and he kills you with his ability, you don't get your ability. You die.
Yeah.
You don't. They're not. Their abilities aren't allowed to resolve because he kills them before it's their turn to use them. So that's also really strong. It's essentially like having Null Blade with damage. It's really strong. So in my opinion, that's invaluable. Paired with Shadow Monarch, the fact that he's going to get even more health. He's basically one-shotting whoever he's coming out on of similar rarity tiers and similar health tiers. He's phenomenal. In my opinion, I think that's like S, possibly S plus.
Yeah, I haven't had both high S or S plus.
Yeah.
Just not sure if I want to get him to S plus. I don't know. What do you think?
I think S is fine. I will make the note though here that like when rank comes out, this dude, you're gonna see him.
Yeah,
if you don't,
yeah, absolutely.
Are using him? Yeah, the people who are using him, if no one else is, they're gonna be eating. Dude is a monster. So love that ability. It's fantastic. All right, so we'll move on to the Hunter pack.
One sec before we move on. I want to say that I think this entire pack is focused on PvP. I absolutely do.
Yeah, I could see that 100%. Yep, all of them seem to have a really good, strong, like ability to be played in different situations that are involving player decision.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the actual game, they're gonna probably see some usage. They're not terrible. They're good. It's just the agency that comes with them is definitely stronger when you're thinking about, oh, how am I gonna use this against someone else?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so now with the Hunter pack, we've got the start, which is Phantom Leader, which is Sun and Moon. After each attack, mark the active enemy with Sun and another enemy in the party with Moon. The enemy marked with Moon will take the same damage as the enemy marked with Sun. This ability will reset if the active card dies. Really, all this means is that he's choosing one card in the enemy party that's not the one he's looking at, and he's going to hurt him too. So if he one-shots one card, he's going to one-shot the other card.
Yeah, two cards.
They're actually a little bit misleading because it's after he attacks that he marks. So he actually has to resolve one attack and then do it. So if he's one-shotting the first card, he's not actually going to hit someone else. However, as long as he's strong, he is attacking another person in the back part of the party. And to me, being able to hurt a card that isn't out on the field yet, who is not going to be allowed to use their ability, like say a Muzan or anyone for that matter, it's really strong, really good. So I would say that in my opinion, I think that he's pretty decent. I would put him at top of A tier, not better than all A tiers, but he's definitely on the higher end of A tier.
Yeah, I'm at A plus.
Yep. Because I think that killing someone in the back line is just super good. Speaking of which, Deranged Clown, which is got Hisoka. Bungee Gum. On entry, this card coats itself in Bungee Gum. For the next 2 turns, all incoming damage is bounced to the next enemy in the opponent's deck, dealing 25% of the original amount. If there are no other cards in the opponent's party, this ability has no effect. So obviously he can be in situations where this doesn't resolve because there's no other card there.
Yeah.
But you should be smart enough to not place him in a situation where that's going to happen. So, with that being said, 25% is not a lot, but it is 2 free turns of you damaging them and 2 free turns of them hurting their own cards.
Themselves, yeah.
And I will say this, so in the tournament, we saw a lot of diversity in the cards, but there was 2. This was a very popular one. Another one was Biscuit Warrior. Biscuit Warrior's thing where he attacks multiple times with the biscuits, it doesn't break the shield. It keeps bouncing off the same one, meaning that it protected against each and every attack, even if it was
on the same shield. Okay.
Yep. So I'm sure there are other abilities that do that. There are abilities that bypass it, like Beast Titan bypasses it, Levi bypasses it.
I was actually just about to ask about Beast Titan.
Yep. So Beast Titan and Levi, they bypass it completely. Like when their abilities go off, the shield basically doesn't even exist. It'll block their normal attack, but the ability itself, it does not protect against it. It actually will go right through it. So it's a little inconsistent, but in my opinion, it's probably not meant to be that way. It is probably supposed to block two instances of damage. No. For the next 2 turns, all incoming damage is bounced to the next enemy. All incoming damage. No. The way it should be is this should block every last bit of damage. He should be protected for 2 whole turns. If it was the way it reads on the card, this is 1000% S plus. If it was exactly as it read on the card and as you'd expect it to be, because it's not. It's really, it's like S, maybe top of A.
Yeah, I have it at low S.
But
wait, do I? Yeah, I do.
Yep. But for sure, the fact that it says all incoming damage, if it did what it said, that's insane. That means all of Levi's extra attacks would be bounced. All of Rock Titan's attacks would be bounced. Anyone who has a multi-hit, bounced. Fox Cloak, bounced. Flame Deity, bounced. All incoming damage.
Yeah.
So Megumin's ability, bounced.
Yeah, but that
was probably one shot. You'd probably instantly kill your own card. So
unfortunately, she's getting nerfed too, though.
Is she?
Yeah, bro.
That's silly.
That's silly. It's so unfortunate, bro. Because I think it's balanced enough because she does 5x one time and then she's dormant, but I don't know.
If she was going to receive a nerf, it needs to be reverting her back to the way she was, where when she does her ability, she's stunned for like 2 or 3 turns. Because the problem she suffers from is she's not stunned for any time because it says 1 turn. You know what that means?
1 attack.
That means when she... That's exactly right. And guess what she just did when she came in? Essentially attack 1 big time.
Yeah.
So she's... The detriment to her ability doesn't exist. So they need to reinstate the detriment to her ability. If they're going to do anything, I don't think she should have her damage nerfed. 1, I think she should be removed from tower. And then 2, I think she should be allowed to be the way she is because she's fantastic for like Sky King.
And Eternal Dragon.
Yep, and Eternal Dragon, yep. All right, slightly off on a tangent there. I think that's the first real big tangent of the video, but we'll go on to Kurapika. I was actually talking to my friend about Kurapika here recently, so for any Hunter x Hunter fans watching, because the manga hasn't gone anywhere, I said that Kurapika is 100% due for an ass kicking, because he's been beating people down and taking names and not really gotten anything in return. He is due for an ass kicking. Like, he can't keep having it all for so long. I love him, but like something bad's coming if they ever decide to finally continue riding it more consistently. But moving on to his ability, Scarlet Eyes. When attacked, this card has a 65% chance to heal 20% of its max HP using Holy Chain. If the opponent's attack is higher, this card has a 20% chance of applying Judgment Chain, dealing 60% of this card's max HP, plus an additional 10% for each attack the enemy has performed after 3 turns. Okay, so I'm just going to pretend like I don't know anything about this card. If I looked at it, I'd be like, the heal sounds okay. This sounds like ass. When would this ever go off? This sounds dumb. What? However, yeah, because just healing himself is a 65% to heal 20% of his max health. That's okay, but it's just a heal. And a lot of the time, people are going to be strong enough where 20% isn't enough. It's the second part where there's so many conditions to it, which is very fitting. But opponent's attack has to be higher than yours. And then it has to be only after 3 turns. There's so many conditions.
Okay, well, yeah, fair. That makes sense.
However, I had the beauty and the privilege of watching this card in action in a fair environment. So, just to kind of explain those tournament rules, it was 100 mil or lower, no moon cards, no raid cards, Pain, Awakened Frost Demon, Armor Giant, banned. Essentially, it created this situation where there was a lot of cards with a lot of similar damage health, and it was very, very good time. Kurapika performed very well, but not because he was stronger, because he had some of the highest stats in the bracket. It was because he would clutch out sometimes with his Holy Chain. With people who would boost the Holy Chain, like he would get his three attacks, and they would pair him with Healing Fist, he would get his attacks in. Like, he is a lifer, and he does really good in my opinion, in the right, like in a competitive setting for ranked in the future, dude is very consistent and decent. He would be like A tier. Where he is now, I mean, he's decently strong. He's an okay card. I would probably put him at bottom of A tier, but he's definitely A tier. I don't think that his ability is genuinely really good in the right situations, and those situations are typically PvP situations.
Yeah, I have him at high B, low A, so A is fine.
All right, so this card, man, I wish it was so much better. Chimera Ant King, which is Meruem. Aura Synthesis. Each time this card is attacked, heal this card for 15% of its max HP and gain a stack of Aura. 5 stacks max. This card performs an additional attack for each Aura stack it has. Each additional attack deals 35% of this card's damage. It feels like for some reason, you would want him at Rainbow before you're like, dang, this is good. At Secret, this is like, dang, this is really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
But at Base and Gold, he's just not, like, he's dying before he ever gets to do his cool card stuff. It's a shame because it reads really cool, and I almost wonder if the numbers need to be tweaked. Like if maybe he needs to heal for 20%, or maybe each additional attack needs to be a little bit more damage. I can't say for sure, but at the end of the day, it's like they try to be really balanced with it, and he just kind of falls flat on his face. I never see him do anything crazy, and I don't see him being a carry card because you're asking him to take 5 turns of damage.
Yeah, he has to leave way too long. Like I don't think he's leaving that long, bro.
Yeah. I would love to see this card become stronger, but it's just on paper. It's a decent ability, and I couldn't put it. Yeah, I definitely. Where you're at B. I definitely wouldn't put him, any lower than B. But I think a case could be made for A tier for people who are like, I don't agree with B, but I don't see him perform, and I don't see where he would perform.
Yeah, it's not a card that you see often, and if we look at the list, we can see there are quite a few cards that we can use above him. So I think high B, low A, but since we have nothing in B, I'm gonna put him in B.
I think it's perfectly fine there. All right, so really, really cool card, Phantom Assassin. I actually have no idea this guy's name, so I just know he's one of the Phantom Troops. So.
Phaeton.
Pain Packer. Phaeton? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Pain Packer. For every 20% health missing, perform an additional attack. Addition attack is what it says, but that's a typo. Addition attack that does 120% more damage. The additional attack damage is increased to 130% when parted with Phantom Leader. This dude straight up is what he said. Like, he's a damage card.
Yeah.
he just is gonna do some insane damage. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, it's his ability to kill you is really high. I think his additional attacks continue after he kills you, or they did at one point. If they don't, then it's not nearly as good.
Oh wow! As in, like, it passes on to the next card.
Yeah, I want to say that that's not the case though. If they did, this is like one of the. Yes. This is probably one of the strongest cards in the game because the ability for him to strike through your entire team before they've even had a chance to do anything
would be crazy.
It would be crazy. But he definitely murders at least one card, and if he can survive into he's basically murdering whoever he doesn't die to.
Yeah, I agree.
Pairing him, and because Phantom Leader isn't too terrible of a card, it's not a bad pairing to have. So definitely better at higher rarities, but pretty decent. And unlike Meruem, he takes a hit, he's gonna be hitting you hard.
Yeah.
And it's 120%. Yeah, it's 120% more damage, not an attack that does plus 35%.
Yeah.
So he's above Meruem for sure. I could definitely see him being at like a higher part of the A tier for sure. I think he's definitely even higher than Phantom Leader.
Oh, like how?
Because he's when he kills someone, if he doesn't die to the next, he's just gonna keep killing.
He's gonna kill, yeah. Fair. I mean, I just had him in A, so high A is fine for me.
And the thing is, I don't think that it's a, like, what's his name? We talked about him. He's really not that great. The Crystal Warrior or whatever, the shield guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure Phantom Assassin keeps the extra attacks. Meaning, if he's at 50% health, he's gonna attack 5 times every time he attacks.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's not like it's like not the inconsistent.
Thing.
Yeah. So all right. So from here we have probably one of the most controversial cards for people saying OP. This is the one card I think that if someone was truly going to say it's OP, we could have a discussion about it. Like, actually overpowered broken. It's a support card. It sits in the 4th row. It's Pitou, which is Chimera Ant Cat, Master Puppeteer, which does 3 different things, and it only does one of these things at a time. But it happens from in the back of the party. Each turn before an ally attacks, this card chooses one of the following moves to apply on the active card. Heal them for 15% of its max health, deal 15% of the enemy's damage to themselves and stun them for 1 turn. The enemy's next attack will be counterattacked for 20% of the intended damage. So, the counterattack, not that great, but it's free. The heal, not that great, but it's free. Hitting themselves for 50% damage, it's not that great, but it's free. Stunning them for 1 turn, that is a recipe for it's essentially having Awakened Promise Child active at all times.
Yeah.
You just straight up stun lock them until they're dead. You can see situations where like people are doing tower teams where it's Pain and Pitou, and the Pain is like basic or gold and not even that strong, and they're at super high level of tower. It's like, floor 200 or something. It's got, I don't know how much health they have. Let's say 100k health. The Pain's only hidden for like 10k, and the Pain will kill the card because they're stuck stunned.
Yeah.
So this is infuriating for many reasons for players, because nobody likes to not be able to do anything. To just sit there and watch as your enemy does whatever they want and you do nothing. To me, it's why I don't like games like, what is it, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or whatever, because you have to watch your opponent basically recite the Bible as you just wait, and I don't even know what's going on anymore.
The Bible is crazy.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. They're just, cards are flying everywhere, and I don't get to do anything, and then all of a sudden I've lost a duel. In this specific instance, it's a very similar situation. You sit there, you stay stunned, you're not allowed to do anything until maybe eventually you lose. The fact that they're doing it from behind in the party, this is S+ tier all day. This is probably one of, if not the best card. Like, when we talk about, what's his name? Like, think about how we were glazing up the Goliath, right?
Yeah.
Pitou basically can ruin him, because if he doesn't get to attack, because
fair.
He could be killed. So Pitou is an insane support card. I love it. I don't really want it to be nerfed. But at the end of the day, I could see it. Yeah. I really don't want it to, because it's like there's so few and far between support cards. This one does really well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it should be nerfed, because I mean, again, it's just a support. It's a support. It's not something that's gonna be on the front line. And I mean, we all have access to it. Even if we have it at basic rarity, it does the exact same thing. So I don't think it should be, but I know it's going to be.
Yeah, this is one of those things too. When I want to talk about nerfs, a lot of people just think, oh, the stun sucks, and remove it, or oh, it should do no damage, whatever. You know what's a better nerf that seems more fair, so that way Pitou can keep the identity that we know and we like? Add a part of this ability. Make it have a 1/4 chance of doing the stun. Make it so that way a fourth thing can happen. So that way 1/3 of the time or more, you're not just spending stun.
Yeah,
if you muddle down the rate in which it happens, there's a lot less frustration. When we look at why Naruto is he's getting nerfed, and the reason why that's frustrating is because it's 50%
chance.
Or more.
Yeah.
If it was like 25% chance to stun, I'd be like, damn, they got lucky. I wouldn't be like, damn, this sucks, and I'm just sitting here doing nothing and I hate it. I would instead be like, dang, they got lucky. And it clutched for them. If I was using Awakened Promise Child, it was 25%. I'd be like, dang, I got lucky. Oh, I'm so glad I clutched. That's what I want. I don't want to see it lose the stun. I would rather see it gain another effect that's around the same power level as all these other ones, which is just okay. It's free to muddle down the rate in which you get stunned.
To be honest, I pulled him at secret, and I heard he was getting nerfed, and I shed a tear, bro. I was like, no.
You pulled it at secret?
Yes, sir.
Dude, you're probably the strongest player in the entire game with that. Holy crap. The stats on that is crazy for one thing, but the fact that it's giving everyone else that may not even be as strong as jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's wonderful, dude. I'm so proud of you. I wish I had that.
It's my best card, bro. So
yeah, I honestly think in its current state, you could pull any other card at secret, and it would probably still be your best card.
Yeah.
Because it's just that good. All right, we're gonna move on to I think it's Kite or Kite. I think it's Kite.
Kite.
Crazy Genius. Yeah. So Clown Game. On entry, randomly gain one of the following abilities: Scythe, gain 25% damage, heal for 20% of enemy's max health each turn. Gun, instantly deal 125% of this card's damage to the active enemy. Mace, gain 2 times damage, but lose 70% max health. Ultimate Sacrifice, lose 90% max health, and heal all allies by the same amount of HP lost. Reduce all enemy stats by 35%. So, Crazy Genius is unfortunately very underrated, but for good reason. There's one change they could make to this card, and he would legit, in my opinion, he would be SS tier. Just below. Remove the mace part of this ability. Think about it this way. If he gets Scythe, he's going to gain 25% damage, which is good. And he's going to heal for 20% of your health every turn. That's a great ability. He gets damage and he's going to be healing for a large amount. Not even including any support he's running or any support he's getting in the party. That is amazing. Gun, he's going to instantly hit you really hard. Awesome. He has Sarda's ability basically, because that's Sarda's ability. It's 100.
Yeah.
Ultimate Sacrifice. This is where it would be insane. Imagine if Mace wasn't there. You get any of the other 2 abilities, it's pretty good. You get Ultimate Sacrifice when he's sitting in the back of your party. He's going to heal his entire team back to full. You have to fight, what is that, 7 cards now instead of 4. And you have to do it with 35% of your stats missing. Crazy Genius is an insane card, and I will preach that until the day that I die. But so long as he has Mace there, which is like, oh, you get damage, but you basically lose all of your health, and so you're gonna die once the enemy gets their turn to attack you.
Yeah.
He is held back by that. But if that was gone, he would be game changing. He would heal. He would revive his whole party. It's crazy, and he still gets his turn to attack. He still gets his turn to attack on a card that has reduced stats by 35%. He is insane. In my eyes, he's top of A tier, bottom of S tier just alone with his current setup. But Lord, if they would just remove Mace, dude would be so good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But with Mace, I think his B, bro.
I can see it, but man, it's so hard.
The potential, the potential is there. I agree with you 100%. But they kind of fucked it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So, but note for viewers, because there was a couple of people who were like, I don't agree with it in the last video. I don't agree with this, and this. Pay attention to what was said here about this card. So, I'm okay with saying that it's B tier, but understand that my perspective on this card, it might be the same as yours. I think it's fantastic, but there's a very serious thing holding it back.
Bro's trying to throw me under the bus.
No, it's not. It's not on you at all. Because there are plenty of things that I was saying that people were like, I don't agree with this, and we discussed about it. So
yeah.
All right. Now we get into the final 2. Zen Master, which is, come on, I don't want to forget. Oh, it's coming to me.
Come on, you got this.
Netero.
Yes.
God, there it is. All right, Path of Enlightenment. Every attack has a 45% chance to trigger a follow-up attack, dealing 75% of this card's damage. After 2 successful follow-up attacks on the same target, deal 225% of this card's current damage to the next enemy and opponent's party upon entry. What if he's dead? What if he's dead?
I don't think it works if he's dead.
I would love to see it tested. This is a very conditional card, and it's at a 45% rate. It's like, when it works, it sounds like it's fantastic. On paper, it sounds really strong. And it's like, yeah. I would say, honestly, just giving him the benefit of the doubt, it's like S tier, bottom of S tier, maybe top of A tier, but S tier. But the thing is, we don't really like cards that take too much wind up. And the fact that if when he dies, his second part of this, even though he procs it, doesn't go off, that would be unfortunate. I personally think they should just change this to be he hits them immediately. Yeah. Like whenever they procs, he just hits the next card for 2, because it's essentially the same thing. But if he dies and it doesn't go off because of it, when they eventually do come in, I think that's just a little unfair to him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think a lot of these cards have like good potential, but they just did one thing wrong. And
yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, I'd put him in S, maybe top of A. He's strong. He's high stats. Yeah, he's strong. Benefit of the doubt, if his ability works in the best ways possible, he's definitely really strong. Could be top of S.
Yeah, they should have given like a rose. You remember the attack he did?
Yeah.
What was the name of it? What was the name of it?
I don't know what the name of it was, but it was basically it was an atom bomb.
Yeah, it was like something rose. That should have been his ability, bro. So if he dies in maybe 4 turns if you're not the winner. Like your opponent cards just die. That would be crazy. I mean, 4 turns seems like fair. Not 4 turns meaning 4 rounds, not like individual attacks.
Yes, exactly. If you were to say 5 rounds, if he doesn't die in 5 rounds, you win the duel.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sick. Because 5 rounds to me is pretty significant. That's
it is.
5. If you haven't beat him by then, you're probably not winning anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can move on to legitimately the actual strongest card in the game, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is Deranged Elder Assassin, which is Zeno, Kilio's grandpa. So Dragon Dive, rain down 5 to 25 Dragon Spears when this card enters battle. Each spear deals 3.5% of this card's damage to all enemies in the enemy's party. So he has a use at all points of any rarity that he's got.
Yeah.
When he is at basic or gold, he's speed running. He's the best speedrunner in the game. It is a single turn, and I'll just kind of explain it why Lord of Eminence and Awakened Kaido and Awakened Gojo, why they're not, better than him, is because they take 2 turns in order to do their multi-hit. He does it immediately once he comes in, so it can't be stopped in tower, and it essentially clears the whole floor right then and there.
Yeah.
He won't die. He doesn't take a hit. He immediately does it. So 1 turn. That's why it's invaluable. That's why it's so strong. At gold, at basic and gold, you have a lot of options. You run Red Pilot, you do all that stuff. He's gonna get you what you need. You can use 4 of them to farm for Relic on Potion Tower, or you can use 1 gold and farm for Relic on Potion Tower. Super fantastic.
Yeah.
At Rainbow and above, he's running the potential of just killing your opponent if it's PvP. He's running the potential of just straight up killing you.
Yeah.
Just that's it. You don't get a choice. He just comes in first card, and if you don't run an ability disable of some kind and are first, you die. You lose the duel immediately, and that's why he's the best card in the game. Because at secret, he legitimately, when hardcore tower comes, or when tower changes come out, and it's like, oh, you go to a high floor and it's better. DEA is still the best card.
Yes.
Why? Because if you get a secret DEA, which is unlikely, right? We can fantasize, but a secret DEA.
Nah,
guess what?
trust. I'm getting him, bro. I'm
Of course. I mean, you already got the secret Pitou. Like he's got to get accompanied by someone, right? Yeah. You're essentially going to be doing all your floors instantaneously, all the way up until the highest of highest floors. And not only that, but think about it this way. We'll just say the stats of the secret, the damage, right? 329k.
Oh my.
Imagine
goodness,
running that
bro.
with 3 red pilots, 45% increase in damage. 45% increase in damage. That's 45. That's almost a 50% increase. You're gonna be doing like
an outrageous amount. I don't even need the number, bro.
Yeah, it's like 500k, some crazy number like that. You are going to clear that tower for so far, and it's gonna be so fast. Even if you could make a team that could go higher, you don't need to, because you just reset and do the whole thing over again. Yeah. So
I just really hope he doesn't get a nerf, bro. If they nerf him, because like his ability is so true to the character itself, I'm gonna lose my mind.
So I have to advocate for keeping him the way that he is.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons for that. 1, gold and basic for speedrunning. Players should have the option to speedrun. I think that allowing players to have card packs, and this is something that I've learned from playing that other card game, the generic whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough access to be able to get more cards, your players burn out and do not want to be here anymore. They go start looking for other games, or they like when they nerf Potion Tower, I am not excited to come check my PC anymore, because 1, I hardly ever see that there's anything new that I haven't that I want and I don't even have a lot of card packs to be pulling for new things.
Yeah.
It feels bad. So allowing the player to have a card when they get it, and his rarity, this is the second part of it, I'll wait for that, but having a card that's allowing the players to kind of speedrun and farm card packs, that's good, that's fine. Let's just pretend he didn't exist. Do you know how long it takes to run tower?
Yeah, I died out, bro.
Without even 4 times battle, let's just pretend you had 4 times battle speed. Your card has to attack 4 times. It has to possibly go through the enemy cards having limitless and slime code and all the and revive. It takes so long. If you were to remove DEA today and the other speedrun cards and just left the game the way it was, I promise you, people would quit.
They would lose
"What the hell is it?"
50% at least of the player base.
Because people want to pull cards. People want to get the big hit. They don't. In fact, I don't know. People do want the big card. I think we're more excited to have the opportunity to try.
Yeah.
And so having more card packs is so important. That's what the speedrunning does. Now, if you want to nerf DEA for PvP, please be my guest. Make it so that way he can't just wipe your team when you have a secret DEA or something like that, right? That's fine with me, but do not sit here and further take a giant dump on the way that people are farming out card packs, because right now, I personally feel like we are not getting enough.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Potion Tower was the perfect amount. It was a beautiful sweet spot for time investment.
I don't know who decided like, yo, we need to fix this, and they didn't fix it. They fucked it. Doesn't. There's no rationale behind that decision.
It's the one thing I think they should do right now before, like, if they want for people to have a good feeling going into update 3.0 and not just skepticism and the constant like, oh, do this, do that, and being aggressive with all their comments, make Hardcore Tower have the same pack rates as Potion Tower once did.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think your players will be most of the players who are currently disgruntled will at least feel like I've got something I can do while I wait for the update.
And the thing is, that would make every tower viable, because we have Potion Tower, which gives us potions, right? So we don't necessarily need the cat box in there, fair, right? Then we have Infinity, which we get an item for, I think it's the Senjing Wu quest.
Yeah,
so,
but that's not worth writing home about.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it has a use, right? Hardcore Tower, I don't think we don't have incentive really to farm it. They're forcing us to. It doesn't make sense. Give us a reason, a good reason to farm Hardcore Tower.
Yep, I've suggested this before, and they are improving Infinite Tower. They are making it so that way the higher you go, you have higher card pack rates. It's apparently what was directly said. That was from Nietzsche in a suggestion thread. I read it. It was what he said. It was like, the higher you go, the pack rates get higher, which sounds good on paper. We talk about that in a second. But the thing that I suggested is Potion Tower's fine where it's at. I would bump up the potion rates just a little bit, because I feel like they're a little low. I'd bump up the potion rates just a little bit, make that good. Hardcore, I would take the relic from Potion Tower and put it on Hardcore, make it so that way Hardcore always gets the relics, and then I would bump the card packs on Hardcore. I would bump the rate of that.
I agree.
I would make it so that way Infinite Tower, the higher you go, the higher quality cards you pull from the tower itself.
Yeah.
You can make it so that way at floor 100
you need to make a game, bro.
I would like to. I wish I could dedicate time to something like that, but it's a lot of learning, and I think I could get it done right. I'd have to dedicate myself to it, and I don't know if I have the time. So, but
I feel like you would make an amazing game, balancing and all that shit. Yeah,
I want what's best for the player's experience. I don't necessarily want what's good for my wallet. I think I come from an old school level of game design. We're going to go off on a very small tangent and make it real quick. Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, some of the best games that were ever made. The reason why is because the developer at the time said, people will pay for it, people will buy it. Nowadays, it's, I want to make a product that makes me money and that makes it good.
Yeah.
If I make a good game, then people will pay me to have that game. So the way that I do Infinite Tower, the higher you go, the tower itself, its pulls get higher quality. It'd be higher luck per whatever floor, and just to incentivize players just enough so they don't feel like, oh, this tower sucks, I can't make it high. You can make it so that way at floor 100, you're guaranteed a 1k pack, 200 a 1k pack, 300, 500 or above, it's like a 5k pack every 100 up to, and it just keeps upgrading the higher you go.
Yeah.
That's just a random number I'm throwing out there, but that's what I would do. I'd make it so that way, like at floor 100, from floor like 100 to 300, you can pull full moon card packs. Full moon cards.
Yeah,
then like from 300 to 400, the next moon and the next moon and the next moon. So that way people can start actually getting some of these lower moon, like rainbow and secret versions. But that's that's a whole nother, topic of conversation. But at the end of the day, people want card packs. I think we want the opportunity to pull more cards. Even if we don't get anything, we want to watch the numbers go up. We want to watch our cards increase in number, and we want to hope that we get something cool. And right now, the game is in a state where it's like, I don't feel good checking my PC after I've been doing it running for a long time. And I think that if there's an equal game, like I'm very interested in that other card game, I'm willing to let that one AFK now instead of this one.
Wow.
Just to see what I can get.
Okay, bro.
Only if Potion Tower was the way it was, I would not be considering it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's just not. It's not enough to be worth my time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just don't know where their heads at, because again, they don't speak to us really. But if they don't check themselves, they're gonna mess up the game, bro.
Yeah, but they've got a whole big update. People will come. I know that they know that people will come back when they drop that update. But the longevity of the game, I will preach it till the day that I die when it comes to game design. And if I ever make one, this is gonna be my philosophy. You make a good game, people are gonna want to pay you for it. Yeah. And if you're a bad developer, you're like, you don't talk to, and I'm not saying they're bad, so I understand that's what I'm saying, but if you don't talk to people, if you don't like take input, you try to go in a direction that like makes the players feel good when they play, then the longevity of your game's probably not going to be any good. And if you're making money now and you think this is actually making us money, I don't need to change anything, think about how much money you could make if the people loved you.
True.
So yeah, I think that's my only thoughts on the game development process here. I have other things that I've said before, but it's not really
Yeah, I mean, again, like back to the list though, I think this list is pretty accurate. I love this list.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the way that it is. I think that everything is pretty much where you would expect them to be. I think that for the lower tier cards from like B downwards, there's not B downwards, definitely C downwards. I think that there's a lot of conversation people might have. Like people might be like, oh, shit tier for Awakened Sun Deity or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm not against saying that it could be in a higher tier, right? But that's part of discussion for all those cards. Yeah. But they're in that general vicinity. All the upper cards, they're definitely in that general vicinity. The S pluses, they are very well defined. Very well defined is why they are S+.
The thing is, with some of these cards, like we said below B, it's a case where if certain abilities do proc, or if the ability that they have activates, it's gonna be good, right? But the reason why they're not there is because of the inconsistency and the fact that it probably won't. And we don't want, well, I personally don't want the fact that I might have a card that does nothing for me. It doesn't make sense. Why would I have this when I could have this? So yeah, guys, this is every card in Anime Card Clash ranked and explained. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helped, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.